Okay. Actually, Haifi, this applause is for you because we moved directly into the discussion, so you didn't have the opportunity to receive it, I think. So yeah, thank you very much all for taking the time to come here. I think it's the highest percentage of show attendees I could ever get in one of my speeches or panels. When I spoke with Roland about giving a little presentation here, it was not that easy to find a topic that is interesting for most of the people. The majority of my speeches are either about affiliate management. He said, dude, there is coming nobody that is practically an affiliate manager. Maybe some people are touching it, but it's not their main thing. Also for recruitment, it's maybe not relevant for everybody or for finding a job. But a lot of them, they manage teams, they own companies. So how to make target planning and also to do the controlling. And controlling means not to control somebody. It's practically managing a company based on numbers as one of the aspects. Can be an interesting topic for that. Introduction to myself. Don't want to do that too long because we can speak later on the bar and you are not here to learn about me, but a few words that maybe gives me some credit why to speak about this. I worked 8 years in insurances. I managed there some teams, was too boring. So I moved 14 years ago into affiliate management, always like with a bit of a focus in adult, but 5-6 years of that were also very mainstream influenced. I have since 1.5 years a HR agency that is only for the performance marketing industry. In the meantime, I have 3 people working there for me. I manage an affiliate program myself since 1 month, but I worked there since 4 years. It's called Masters in Cash. It's a dating advertiser. Yeah, I speak on around 20-25 conferences per year about the topics I mentioned before. I wrote a book about affiliate management. If you're interested to read it, on the flyer is a QR code for it. And I have 2 YouTube channels, one for the dating industry and one for affiliate managers. On the private side, I live as an expat in Romania. Amazing country. If you have not visited it, go there. It's absolutely fantastic. 100 times better than its reputation. So, and I'm a father of a 4.5 years old daughter, and I love to do martial arts, especially Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Butch would kick my ass, but yeah, I do what I can. And at the moment, my back is a little bit damaged, so I cannot do it. So that's a little bit about my persona. And here is the agenda that we have today. Why is planning important? What methods I have used in insurance, but also in online marketing. So I think even when I cover verticals that are maybe different to the people that are here in the room, when it works for insurance, you can take some of this stuff also for your vertical or for your industry, whatever it is. The controlling, leading through numbers, mistakes I have seen in real life and that I did myself, and also best practice of being 22 years now in sales with the majority of this time in one way or the other. So the first thing is why. Without numbers, everything is true. That is a quote. I was told it's a quote from the guy that was the CEO of Booking, but I cannot confirm that, but I think it's a very interesting quote that fits here very well. So there are 4 main reasons why I like to have a plan with my team. And I also like to have a plan if I have a guy above me, what I mostly had in my life. These are 4 reasons that are identified. So one is we are very easy tricked by emotions. If you work with somebody and the numbers are not good, we can have a very good connection with this person. There is always like stories to be told, excuses and so on. We are all humans. If there is no target written in stone, we are very easy tricked by ourselves. If there are numbers, there can be also excuses, but there is still like a target, and it's not the same if we are just saying like work well. Then with targets, you have goals that you can work towards to. If there is no goal defined, it's also hard to reach goals if you don't have one. yeah, today this year we just want to do good. We just want to do better than last year. This is definitely a wrong approach. There should be something written down. Target breakdown. You can take this global goal that maybe the company or a department or an individual person has in smaller targets. Hey, to reach our goals, we minimum have to have always this leads in our system. We always have to have a minimum of this amount of money per month and so on. And what I learned when I was in insurance and I started out there was that you can break down every euro that is earned into just a phone call back then. So when we were going and we had to sit down 1 or 2 times per week in the evening to call our friends to sell them insurances, which is like a very shitty task. Nobody wants to do that. Our motivation was always bad. Everybody had excuses why not to go there. Oh, I have already an appointment at this time, super important client. My cat was vomiting on the floor. God knows what. There were always excuses. And if the manager had a good connection with this person, they were tricked and they were accepting and swallowing this bullshit instead of saying like, no, we all have to meet. And then we got there like a sales coach that was coming over, and he was breaking down every euro in a phone call. And he calculated how many phone calls we need to get one appointment, how many appointments we need that the appointment is really happening, and how many appointments we need to close a deal, and what is the average of one deal. And everybody got like an individual number depending on how much it is. So the more qualified people, they were having maybe like 25 euros, and the less qualified ones, like me as a newbie, was maybe having 10 euros. So it's a different thing to go to a salesperson and say like, look, you call now and you make appointments, and at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, you will maybe earn 2,000 euros commission. This is a target that is reachable, but it's not directly there. If you break it down to this phone call, you can say every time you pick up the phone, you will earn 10 euros, you will earn 20 euros. And it's true like this. And they forced us practically back then. We didn't have cell phones. We really had this old stuff. It was in 2002. So with the cable from the office, everybody was practically putting a bill on their phone, glued on the hanger. So you had practically a breakdown of targets, and that was way easier and way more motivating to just say like at the end of the month, there must be 2,000 or 3,000 or God knows what euros. And of course, you have to be accountable. If there are no targets, if there are no goals, if there is nothing planned out, then you cannot go to this person and blame them if it's not good, or reward them if it's good. It's maybe also hard because there was nothing defined. If you say like, yeah, we just have to do good, and then it's not going so good, and you go to the worker and say like, hey, why are the numbers so bad? I thought it's good. We never defined it. And you have to accept this excuse if there is nothing written down. So there are really good reasons. For sure, there are more why you have a proper planning with your team about targets, and maybe even for yourself. And this here are something like very general methods or very techniques to be used. And here are 3 different ways how to make it. And I would be also curious to hear after that what methods you maybe prefer with your team, or if you don't have a team and you are managed by somebody, what you like for yourself. So the first important thing is it has to be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. So what does that mean? Specific means it must be defined. It has to be like a clear target and not something abstract. Measurable, you must have a way to measure the success in the targets that you put up together or that you put up. Achievable, this target has to be reachable. If you are an established company, let's say you are Coca-Cola, and the guy that owns, the CEO of Coca-Cola, nobody owns it, stock listed, says, we need to sell in America next year 10 times more Coca-Cola than we did last year. That's not possible. Who should drink all this Coca-Cola? I think if all the other soft drink companies are disappearing, they would not be able to reach that goal. So it has to be achievable. The Coca-Cola guy has to say, hey, we have to increase the Coca-Cola consumption by 5% or so. Then it's achievable for them. It has to be relevant. So it has to fit into the targets of the company and not be just a target that makes no sense. And you have to define the time. That's very often a problem, that when people are making targets, they are not putting a time for it. They just say like, hey, we want to have this and this growth, without having really a plan when this should be. We had that already with the breakdown of bigger targets in smaller ones. So when you go and say like, next year we want to make 1 million euros revenue, again, like the guys that were in the insurance company, or when I was there, you can say, for this, we need minimum this leads, we need minimum this sales talk, we need minimum this amount of closings, and so on. The forecast can be done in two different ways, and it depends a little bit of the industry and also the product life cycle that you are in. For example, I was in the mobile industry in the wild days, and this was like a very interesting product life cycle, because it was going up like crazy and we could 10, 20 times our revenue, but then it was going down and we were happy to make 20% of the revenue that we had before. So this has to be considered. And you can use for this either a forecast or you can use the historical data. Depends where you and your product are standing. And beside this, you should also define with your team what is needed to achieve these goals and these targets. And with what is needed, I don't mean like how many appointments and how many deals we have to close. It's really what the company has to provide to achieve that. Let's say you are speaking with team leaders. Hey, we need minimum 2 more sales guys to get it. We need a special training because our people are not able to close proper. We have to go to minimum 5 conferences. We have to buy leads to achieve our goals. We have to make Google ads. We need a social media department. We need a back office that is taking away from us the work. We need different methods to pay out. For example, Masters in Cash is a problem that we are only paying out at the moment with Wire, with PayPal, and with Paxum, but with Paxum only with the normal Paxum stuff. And we made a survey with our affiliates, and it turned out that 25% of our affiliates want to have a crypto payout. 25% of our affiliates would be more happy if we provide them crypto. That's quite an amount. So for God's sake, Paxum has now crypto payouts, and we're at the moment in the discussion to adding that. And this is something that we need to achieve our goals. Every month, it costs us time and headache because people are not able to receive their money because they don't have a bank account, or the bank account is closed because they did something there, or they have like a check. My bank account in Romania was already 3 times closed. I did nothing wrong. I just received money from Singapore one time. That's it. And they put me like on a shit list. If I would have crypto payouts, I would not worry about that things. So it makes it easier. And you as the boss should define with your team, because the team is directly in the market, what is needed to achieve that. And speaking about targets, when I have somebody completely new as an affiliate manager, also when I recruit somebody for another company, for the first 3 months, I'm not really giving them targets of revenue that they have to achieve. It's more that I give them a target for effort. So instead of saying like, hey, you need minimum 50,000 euros payout per month. After this 3 months, you start with 0. I said, I expect from you that every month or every week you are reaching out to minimum this amount of people. All these people have to be proper protocoled in our CRM. You need to do minimum this and this follow-ups. You need to be minimum this and this amount of posts and groups. And based on this effort, I see where is the weak point. I see nobody is responding to them, so I know that their outreach is bad. Okay, what we can do there? They take over a portfolio that is sleeping. Nobody is reacting to this. Are they really offering their everything that we have that they maybe didn't have before when the account was active? and so on. So this is how I do it with the newbies, but only the first 3 months. And after this, they should be measured like anybody else. And there are 3 ways how to define the targets and how to plan them. The first I named now the BOSS method. Didn't came up with a better name. It's defined by the company. It's the presentation of the targets, and it's more for junior roles or where it's like a very strict hierarchy. So this is practically, you go there, you sit with your team and you say, this is what we expect for you. Deal with it. What do you need to achieve that? Then we have the individual vote, where you are sitting with your workers or with your worker, and you discuss with them what makes sense and what they think is achievable for them. And this is a very interesting phenomenon that we see here, especially if you are working with great talents. The workers give themselves usually way higher targets than the boss is even expecting. That's a very interesting phenomenon. I don't know why it is like this, but I act also like this. I don't know if we are deep in ourselves like ass kissers and we want to please the boss with like high targets that we think that we reach. But usually here are higher targets set than here. And that's maybe also why you cannot do it with a junior. A junior that is maybe still a little bit unsure about their role in the company. They better take it a little bit easier. And then we have another method, and this is something how we do it at the moment quite a bit at Masters in Cash. And this is that the team is together with the company deciding what needs to be achieved. And for me personally, it's not so much for the hard facts, something that is really measurable. It's for me something I see more for the soft goals. Like we want to be like a strong brand, we want to be recognized, and so on. This is stuff that is maybe not even that measurable. And also when there is a team, everybody has different ideas and you can lose more time just discussing this than putting effort into it. So when you look a little bit on yourself, how you are managed or how you are managing the teams, what of the methods you are using, or you use something completely different that is not here? Who is a team leader? Chris is a team leader, right?
I guess it's a little different for us because like when we go out like to shows or like within our sector of the industry, we have a monopoly already. I think it's more about staying on top of our current clients and we look for, instead of like growth, we kind of monitor like decline. If we notice stuff going down, like less traffic, I mean not less traffic, but less money going through one of our big companies doing less transactions, we look at that versus growth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always as a team, like each individual team's like department.
In the end of the day, it's also in the SMART method because it's measurable, it's specific, it's achievable. You can do stuff to maintain the clients. It's relevant because the company needs that to survive or be stronger. And you also have like a time like, hey, we want to stay like this for this amount of time. Yeah, Terry, please.
So in my previous life, when I was in the US, I actually ran a sales team, 220 people.
What industry was it?
Financial services, First Data, Eastern and Western Union, and we had banking relations with Citibank, JP Morgan Chase, all of the big banks in the US. And really within the sales role, the other thing was like when you were saying individuals set their own goals, your top performers, I could give somebody a goal and say, look, you need to make 10,000 in net revenue per month. But your top performers were the ones that said, if my goal is 10,000 a month, I want to achieve 20,000. And in order for me to achieve 20,000, that means I need to do $1,000 a day, 5 days a week, 20 days a year. And your top salespeople, you could go back and say, okay, today's the first day of the month or the second day of the month. Where am I? Am I on target? Is my run rate going towards that goal? At the same time, we'll talk about measurable or even achievable, putting them with a top salesperson, and like you said, with like newbies, when you have somebody that's new, it's how do you get them to be productive? How do you get them to learn everything that they should be learning, and instead of just doing the routine? Because I could go and say, you need to make 20 phone calls per day in order to reach your target. When in reality, if you made 10 quality phone calls and you meet a decision maker, and you're able to explain your product and the benefits of the product and what the pricing is, and you've got good follow-up skills in closing the deal, then that's better than having that measurement that says make 20 phone calls a day. So it's yeah, I mean it's great the way that you look at them. Bottom performers versus top performers, newbies versus middle performers, but it's how you define those. It's kind of like with Six Sigma: define, measure, analyze, implement, and control, all within that sales process. How many leads do you have that you're actively working that are hot? How many leads do you have in your pipeline that you expect to close? And your top performers are always going to know, I can go in and look at my lead database, and I can go in and look at my productivity, and I can go in and make sure that I have all of the training on the product that I'm selling, that I can sell it to anyone, which would make them top performer.
I mean, you are of course very right what you say, and with this newbies and breaking down their targets, it shows sooner or later a direction where it goes. It will be impossible for them to tick all boxes with their targets, because if they are, let's say, making the 20 phone calls and they get very well, they will be so much in a follow-up process that they are not even able to reach 20 the next day. You see it when you have like affiliate managers and they are onboarding more and more people. They are not able sometimes even to onboard new people at all, or one new person per week or per month. So that will show after a certain while, and every company has to define how they break down the targets and what is maybe not discussable and needs to be achieved, and what is maybe a bit more flexible. Okay, so far about the methods. So now we come to the controlling part. These are some numbers that I'm looking at, and everybody should look at when they are doing this. There's of course way more that you are measuring, and every company has it a little bit different. So of course you need like a check of process versus targets. That's the most important thing. If you are not comparing how the team is doing and where they should be at this time, it will be hard to take actions when it's maybe too late. So don't wait until a quarter is over to get like a big quarterly report to make decisions. There are stuff that every sales manager, or you as an individual, when you want to control yourself and when you want to monitor yourself, can do. Check it on a regular basis. I do it, for example, weekly. And if I see there is like a discrepancy, we can immediately act. That would be the first thing. Then there is also important, this is now a little bit more for affiliate management, the client development. So we are checking daily who of the affiliates is lowering their traffic. We are seeing who of the affiliates is increasing their traffic. We are seeing who is making more revenue, who is making more leads, and so on. And we immediately search for the discussion with the affiliate if we see something that is out of the order. It's not only about reacting when the affiliate is lowering the traffic or when the conversion rate is going down. It's also important, and sometimes even more important, to react when the affiliate starts to scale. Because when they are scaling, they are with their mindset in some way to do more with you. So it's easier to even hustle a little bit more together with this partner than when somebody is lowering. When you're lowering, hey, why are you lowering? Yeah, I found now a new vertical. I got this new offer from a competitor of you that I like better, or they pay me now double for a month or something like this. What do you want to do with that? it's very hard to stop this drop for the moment. At least you should be still on point. But if somebody says like, yeah, I have this new traffic source, I tried this new landing page, and now it's going really well. Oh, okay, what we can do that you can scale even more. We have this offer, by the way, also in another country. Do you need exclusivity somewhere? Do you need more cap? Do you need like a higher payout? Or if we increase your payout by 5%, can you guarantee the same quality but with a bigger volume? So monitor the clients or the affiliates as detailed as possible, and don't react only when they are dropping. React also when they are scaling. Check your team individual, not only as like a whole thing. You have very often underachievers and overachievers, and if you just look at your team, it looks maybe like super excellent, but you have one high flyer and 3 idiots that are just living from this high flyer. So look at that and speak with all of them. So the high flyer is maybe using something that can be used also for other team members. Maybe they have a very good approach, and the underachievers, yeah, you need to find with them out what is the problem. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe they need some special training. Maybe they need some sales support. Maybe something is with the products in their market. So yeah, react there. And of course, you have to check also with the other departments what is happening there. When the revenue is going down, it's not always the sales team to blame. It can be very often also product related. There are so many issues in this industry that can happen. Butch said, I think 15 different companies or individuals can be involved in this process, and the sales team is only one. So you cannot only blame them if things are going bad. It can be a regulation. It can be a problem with the payment provider. In dating, it can be something with the service that is behind it, and so on. So check always things that are happening as well before you make a too fast conclusion about these things here. And it's very important that you have a good relationship with the other managers of your company. So there is like a permanent exchange. It's also important that you inform other departments if your sales team is doing something crazy. If you say, hey, we increased the payout now by 20% because we want to scale, they maybe need more servers or something like this. So yeah, and then they go to Roland, to Mojos, right? Okay. Then some of the mistakes that I saw in this process and I see permanently about it is to get lost in reports. Some people, they really have no interest in numbers at all. Some people are really loving numbers, and for me is it like this: I hate numbers, but once when I get started, I really dive into it like a tunnel. And then I get lost in reports. I see one matrix and I think like this is the next big thing and I have to investigate it, and half of the day is over. Don't do this. So really focus on the things that is important. And if you discover something, try to have somebody from the back office or data team that is analyzing it for you and have really like the passion and the knowledge for analyzing numbers. Not considering dynamic changes. The mobile industry was booming. We had targets, yeah, we made 10, 20 times more than 2 years ago. So next year we need at least 10 times more. The mobile market got regulated. This is not working. You can be happy to make 20% of the money. It's still like a business case in this, or it was still a business case in this field, but you cannot go and keep the targets like they are if the entire industry is collapsing. If they are saying, yeah, Nutra products are not allowed in the US anymore, how you want to reach your targets? It's not possible. You say like, okay, we can still make some digital products, maybe it will be 10% of the revenue. So yeah, that has to be considered. This one I keep for the last one. It's in my opinion the most interesting one. Then to compare everybody in the same way. That was before. Hey, you have to see who is senior and who is junior, who you measure more by effort and who you measure more by numbers of revenue and profit. You have lazy bones with a lucky punch. I remember this in the mobile company, something like the second best sales guy had exactly one affiliate. The guy had one affiliate. He was not a qualified guy. And because I had like 32 people or so to manage, the guy was flying under the radar. I look on the list. I see, this guy, everything perfect. Then it turned out that he has exactly one affiliate. He had one affiliate that he took over from somebody, and the guy was just making so much money. It was like a media buying team from Ukraine also with 15, 16 media buyers, and were sending all the traffic to us. And the guy was working practically 20 minutes a day, and the rest he was sitting there and scratching his balls. This is something you should not have in your company. If you accept that, especially if it's not like, how shall I say, that this guy has like a special asset. Let's say he's like the son-in-law of this affiliate or so, and if he leaves, this business goes down to shit, then you maybe have to swallow this pill. But this guy had nothing with them. He took over the account from somebody else that got promoted, and he was just sitting there every day, 20 minutes, everything cool, bro. If he would be gone, they would say, okay, you are the new guy. Nothing changed, or even goes better. So don't accept it. If you have somebody that is just living from one person or so, go a little bit back to the numbers of effort instead of just the total numbers. And what is also often neglected in our industry is the deals and the rebuilds that are coming in. It's a very big problem. And for example, I had a contract myself with a very high bonus system. And when they gave me this bonus system, they were not considering that for the leads, for the subscriptions, everything was already paid on CPA, and there is a gigantic Avalach, I think is the correct word, of rebuilds coming in. So after 2 months in the company, I practically had my targets reached by factor 5 because of the rebuilds that were already there. But I have achieved nothing. So they came to me and said like, yo, bro, we cannot give you the bonus. And I swallowed that because I was really doing nothing. And in the contract was also if if they fire me or if I leave, I don't get the bonus. So if I would insist there, they would just say like, it's not working out between us. So I just accepted that, and they gave me at least enough that I could buy a Harley Davidson. So the important thing is here, when you make the planning, really check what is coming in that is maybe not the achievement of the sales manager for this year, and bring this into the calculation, because it can destroy your entire planning, because it can be so much where they have to do nothing for, and you have to pay a bonus for something where they maybe have not even done something because it was done by a different team. So these are the biggest mistakes. And now I have a small sip, and then we go to best practice, and then we are also done. So of course, adjust everything that we had today to the needs of your company and to the character of each person. A strong sales is usually a very strong character as well. So it's not that everything that is written here or every method you have in your company yourself fitting every character. Communication, regular feedback talks. Everybody in your team deserves to hear on a regular basis where they are standing, so they can improve. They can work more on the things that are already going well. Share milestones with the team. Hey, the quarter is over and we reached all our goals. The monthly goals are achieved. We go for a team building event because the half year goal was achieved, and so on. So this is very important. Implement technology in that. So that means that you have to, that you should use a CRM tool, because with the CRM tool, you can monitor everything absolutely perfect. It's not the same thing to use a CRM as you have like an Excel or a Google Sheets file. I'm a very big fan of CRM tools, and I use for it mostly Podio. If you are looking for one, Podio, fantastic system. Unfortunately, I have Soho and Masters in Cash, but for all my other stuff, I use Podio. It's also something I placed at around 20 companies. And use all kind of tools for data analytics. There are now also AI tools on the market that are not only analyzing it, but you can make the data analytics like with a person. So instead of running a query yourself, you can communicate with this system and say something like, please show me all affiliate managers that have less than 3 affiliates that are making over this and that amount of money. Show me all affiliates that are performing in this and this market with an ROI plus so and so. So you don't have to make your way through big filters and so on. I have not tested it myself, but there are tools on the market. I have also not searched how it's called, but I went on the website, I checked it out, and they will retarget me for sure, and then I will test it. And keep the team motivated. How you do that? You do that with incentivizes, you do that with bonuses. And I think the most important thing that you need is you have to support your sales team with what they need. They need to know that they can rely on the company. The people are not leaving the company because the bonus is small or they are not having fresh fruit basket or something like this in the company. They are leaving mostly because they are not getting the right support from the company, from their team. They come with suggestions, nobody cares about it. They come with ideas, nobody listens to them. They need training, nobody provides it to them. These are the real reasons why people are leaving. So use this when you do your planning. Ask them directly what they need to be more successful this year than last year, or at least to maintain the success if this is one of your goals, and provide it to them. And then you have a happy team, then you have a motivated team, and yeah, I hope you all reach your targets. So we can speak now a little bit more if there are any questions. If not, here's a little shameless self-promotion. This is the book that I wrote, the Affiliate Management Starter Kit. If you scan here, you get my contact details, or you can get the book. And I have this YouTube channel and Instagram if you want to follow me. And beside this, thank you very much for your attention. Great to see you all in Ireland. Looking forward to a fantastic karaoke night. And if there are any more questions, happy to make now a group discussion about it. Thank you.